And with this win, a bunch of results and tickets punched in the AFC. The Bills, the Jags, and the Chargers all clinched playoff spots in that AFC playoff picture thanks to Indianapolis's loss. Indy not done just yet. The Colts can still make the playoffs if they win out and Houston loses out. In studio, Joe Musso alongside Ryan McFadden and Emery Hunt. And fellas, we'll get to Indy's defensive issues, but let's go good on the 49ers here first. What kept them in rhythm tonight, Mac, offensively? It looked like it was offense on air at times.
Their quarterback, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was outstanding. During the pregame show, we basically gave you the key ingredients for their success. And I felt like this was a great matchup in favor of Brock Purdy when you look at the Colts secondary. They were 30th in the National Football League in passing yards allowed coming in today's matchup, allowing around his best performance this season in an injury-plagued year. And with Brock Purdy now seeming to find his rhythm, and then you look at the other two members of the big three. CMC, he had 146 yards of total offense. George Kittle, 7 receptions for 115 and a touchdown. If they're big three offensively, if they're clicking like this, they can do more than just get a few wins in the postseason play. I think they have an opportunity, a legit opportunity, especially their defense getting timely stops. But this is a great opportunity on a national stage for their star quarterback to showcase that I can still throw it around the yard and have success in doing so.
I hear you, Mac, but the offensive line was MVP tonight for San Francisco. They did a fantastic job just keeping Indianapolis at bay. There was not much pressure on Brock Purdy. We saw Christian McCaffrey had his picks and chooses of any lane he wanted to from front side to back side to run through. And he had the time back there in the pocket to find all of these different targets down the field. So yeah, it was a collective team effort. The skill players did what they had to do. But man, I thought Trent Williams was out there looking like a first ballot Hall of Famer, the way he was just dominating those ends and how they just had those guys frustrated. The linebackers really couldn't get to the point of attack. They were beating those guys to the second level. They were making plays outside of the design of the run. So you see guys with second chance blocking opportunities, just doing what they needed to do. I thought this was the tip of the cap for the offensive line because we came to this game thinking the defensive line of Indy had the advantage, getting Buckner back. That was going to be the biggest key. But this offensive line really just looked rock solid from left tackle to right tackle. Really had their way up front, and that really changed the tide of this entire game.
Allowed for 25 to 34 for 295 and 5 touchdowns. Brock Purdy's performance here, the first 5 passing touchdown performance by a San Francisco 49er since Steve Young in 1994 in Super Bowl 29. So quite a moment here in the career of Brock Purdy, his first time to 5. Almost did it with no interceptions. A late one he gives away just to keep honest. But Emery, we did talk about it pregame that this was going to be a passing opportunity for Purdy, and the run game might be tough. Nothing was difficult for the San Francisco offense today. What do you do to explain what we saw a week ago against that Seattle team in Seattle from this Indianapolis defense and what we saw tonight?
You saw the difference between a quarterback in Brock Purdy, and you saw the difference between Sam Darnold. And I think that's the biggest key to your point. When you think about Brock Purdy and what he does, he understands the system completely. Like, he came up with the system himself. So he went exactly where the ball needed to go. The receivers are winning their one-on-one matchups. You saw them, how many times we saw them complete that little short in route, little short dig route across the middle of the field? That was one-on-one all the time, and Brock Purdy found the opportunity. And when they finally got pressure at some point in time in the game, he just dumped it off to the tailback. McCaffrey did the rest. So Brock Purdy being different, and not to bring him into this conversation, but Brock Purdy being better than Sam Darnold was the biggest difference, on top of the fact that the offensive line did what they had to do. And think about it, this is an extension too. They're blocking with the tight ends and Kittle when he was out there healthy. Juszczyk had a devastating block. So everyone played their part. And when you're moving the ball like you are tonight against the Colts defense, minimizing those the effectiveness of the pass rush, you turn those guys into run defenders. They did not want to see that down in, down out, which opened up the passing game. Purdy just understanding what works, how to call the right plays, getting him in and out of the bad plays. This was a masterclass for him, but it shows you the difference in having a quarterback that can do that versus a quarterback that's still trying to figure it out on a new team.
Outside of the quarterback, and comparing what Seattle was not able to do against the Colts compared to what San Francisco did tonight, schematically speaking, the scheme, the play calling, the offensive structure for San Francisco, it can be issues for any opponent when they go up against Kyle Shanahan and he's in his bag like he was tonight. Remember, this is an offense. They haven't run the football since November the 30th, right? This December the 22nd. It's December the 22nd.
There was a buy in there. I love the framing.
Yeah, but still. But 2 full games, in 2 full games,
out of 20-some drives since the last one.
That's amazing. That is amazing when you factor in how difficult it is to keep that same rhythm going. So all I'm saying is right now, Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, they found their rhythm, which is very, very important because they're a few weeks away from getting into the playoffs when the playoffs start. I mean, eventually you will get Ricky Spears on that. See, that's the thing. We haven't seen their offense at full throttle with everyone because injuries have really hampered that, but we haven't really talked about, oh man, they missed this guy. Oh man, they should have this guy. No, because their head coach and Kyle Shanahan has been in his bag in terms of coaching and preparation. But when they get a full deck of cards to be able to get in that spade game, then look out, man, they really can cause some havoc.
This is nothing new for San Francisco. It is a system, and you plug cogs into that system, and it continues to roll forward. It was working as smoothly as you could ask for tonight, and that's now Chicago's defense's problem to solve coming up in a primetime matchup on Sunday Night Football in Santa Clara. We got big playoff implications on both sides of that one. We'll get to our playoff picture here in just a moment, but staying in the moment with what the Colts showed, not just defensively, but offensively, Phillip Rivers' performance here with the season essentially on the line. The losing streak continues. You start 8-2, now 5 in a row in the loss column. The Sportsline projection says, thanks for playing. You're going to be the first team in nearly 30 years to miss the playoffs after starting 8-2. What do you make of Rivers' night, the way it started, so productive in the first quarter, and the way it ended with the pick six?
He was better. We all felt like he would be better in this matchup because of the defense and being at home, and he was. I mean, they came out very, very aggressive. I really felt like they was a little too aggressive in spots in this ball game, but he threw for 277, 23 of 35, 2 touchdowns. It's utilize the clock, you know what I mean, and keep Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey on the sideline. But because of the aggressive nature that we saw, it kind of kept putting more pressure on the defense when they were in a bad spot the entire ball game. But for Phillip Rivers, he had an interception. I mean, that was a tough play. But outside of that, you tip your hat. He did exactly what you would want your quarterback to do in a very, very important match tonight.
I felt like the same thing we said about the 49ers offense, we can say about their defensive line. They dominated the point of attack. And they got too aggressive in terms of throwing the football early, albeit having success. That Jonathan Taylor is a volume guy. He needs those kind of consistent carries to get really going and to really feel out of defense before he starts to pop these runs. Well, if you're running the football every fourth play, you're not going to get to that running back groove. And because of that, your offensive line is now playing from a passive perspective. And so they're not just firing off the football. That allows San Francisco to really control the line of scrimmage, maintain the line of scrimmage, and because your quarterback is not mobile like he was when he was younger, it allowed him just to collapse the pocket around him. We saw that manifest itself in some sacks, the fumble that backed him up on one drive that cost him a series. And so when you get to all of that late in the ball game, now you see the winner's interception like it was a 2022 college ball playoff game against Michigan where he fought one back against J.J. McCarthy, 29 yards for a touchdown.
You're just dragging everybody.
I'm just bringing everybody. Come to the party, man. It's week 16. But I just felt like if the offensive line was able to get into a rhythm early by firing off the football and not in that passing game mindset, that's where we saw them have those issues.
A 5-game losing streak where we've watched the Indianapolis Colts' playoff percentage drop from 98%, almost near certainty. They were a 1 seed to just 2% after this. Again, they'll have to win out. Houston will have to lose out to get into that playoff picture here in a moment. Final thought on the San Francisco 49ers. We did see George Kittle lead this game, looked to be a foot